The oil lamp cast restless light from its iron stand. My name is Liam Davis. I make a living digging up local secrets, part investigator, part archivist. Carefully, with tweezers, I lifted the 1900 wedding announcement clipping. What brought me to this cursed Black Oak Manor wasn't just the hefty commission. It was the fragmented words my mother gasped on her deathbed in my recurring dreams. Black Oak, Cross, Eleanor, save her, and the silver pocket watch she left, engraved with her name. Eleanor Gray's photo on the clipping was edged with yellow, green mold. Around her neck, a silver cross necklace stood out starkly, its pendant holding half a moonstone, like a moon gnawed by darkness. Below, in red ink that bled like fresh blood in the damp air, the wedding was the funeral. The groom was the sacrifice. The library reeked of ancient paper and rust, like an upside-down coffin. The moment my finger touched the photo of the cross, a sharp pain stabbed my neck. Outside the shattered stained glass window, a white, dressed silhouette flitted past like a ghost, the cross pendant flashing cold light in the dying dusk. Eleanor, professional instinct shoved aside the chill. I grabbed the lamp and bolted after her. The crunch of beetles under my boots echoed hollowly down the dead corridor. She stopped at the stair landing, back to me. Waterfall curls partially hid the silver chain. The scene should have been ghostly stillness, but it reminded me of a stitched-up corpse on an autopsy slab, superficially whole, unnervingly rigid underneath. "What are you afraid of?" My voice hit the dusty chandelier, shattering into trembling echoes. She turned slowly. Moonlight through the high window wove spider-webbed shadows across her face. A tear mole beneath her left eye glowed red as dried blood. Only then did I see her hands locked white-knuckled behind her back, straining as if holding back something monstrous. "Go!" Her lips shaped the word perfectly, but no sound came out. Not ghostly silence, but like an invisible vice choked her throat. I took half a step forward. She recoiled as if shocked. Her skirt brushed damp, grey-green mold on the wall, and instantly the fungal tendrils writhed, twisting into countless men's faces. Each expression frozen in a rictus of ultimate terror and sick ecstasy, the last gasp before being dragged into the abyss. Old Roland's ramshackle tavern groaned under the downpour. Whiskey pooled like murky amber in the thick glass. That cross. Roland wiped the rim obsessively with his three-fingered right hand, milky eyes fixed on the fire. That's the noose the Thorn Countess puts round her canary's neck. Eleanor uses her smile as bait. Every man she lures into that manor, the cross drinks him dry, feeds the old monster clinging to life. He spat a bloody gob of phlegm. Why men? Guess their vitality suits the old witch's tastes better. I pulled out the wedding clipping. My finger traced the cross's cold outline. Eleanor? Was she forced? Forced. Roland erupted in a saw on rotten would laugh. 10 years back, some know, all archaeologists came to town. Like you, loved digging in dead folks' business. Eleanor gave him this pitiful smile through the greenhouse glass. Next dawn, they found him curled by the old willow at Moonmire's edge. Heart ripped clean out, skin shriveled like a plum left baking for months. His bloodshot eyes leaned close, breath reeking of rot and cheap tobacco. Forced. She's the Countess's pampered canary, dangling live bait to fill that hag's bottomless gut. My stomach churned. The twisted faces in the hallway mold seemed to writhe again. Roland shoved a heavy, dark stone etched with a faint cross into my hand. Dredged this sink, stone from Moonmire's bottom, temporarily dampens the cross's evil pull. But, lad, his bony finger jabbed at my exposed watch-chain, guard your eyes, guard your hands. If she smiles at you, remember, whatever she offers you, a rose, a handkerchief, a damn glass of water, don't touch it. It'll be the death of you. Midnight, Moonmire choked on bone, chilling fog. From the ancient willow's weeping branches hung countless dripping crosses, a ghastly orchard of death, fruit, each marking a soul Eleanor led to doom. I clenched the icy sink, stone, driving the shovel into stinking, soft earth. Deep in the muck, the silver chain, wrapped around finger bones, emerged. The dark red specks trapped in the moonstone pulsed faintly in the gloom. Liam, the whisper, like silk soaked in ice water, seeped from the gnarled roots. Eleanor stood at the willow's edge, her white dress hem-heavy with fresh mud. The cross at her chest flickered like a guttering candle. It was the first time she'd approached me. The scent hit me, cold lily, of the valley mixed with thick decay, the very smell of the barrier between life and death, their pain. Locked here. She raised a hand, pale as bone, fingers trembling as they brushed the cross. Hum. The moonstone flared blinding crimson. Instantly, countless twisted, wailing spectres writhed behind her. Each had a gaping, bleeding hole in their chest, dark red life, force siphoned through invisible tubes into the greedy cross. Thick, bloody tears welled from Eleanor's eyes, tracking down her white cheeks. So long. I'm done. Tried to bite through the chain, found it's grown, fused to my bone, into my collarbone. Her voice fractured with pain. The Countess says it takes 108 souls to forge the key, the skeleton key to Hell's Gate. Using my bones for the handle, the sink stone's edge bit my palm. My gaze locked on her inner wrist, crisscrossed with deep, old and new bite marks and tears, scars of desperate rebellion. Why me? My voice shook uncontrollably in the cold wind. Have you collected 107? Am I? The last, she shook her head violently, the chain biting deeper, fresh blood beading. Simultaneously, from Black Oak Manor, came the sickening shatter of breaking glass. Thick, squirming shadows boiled behind every shattered window. No, you're different. Her hand, cold as the grave, clamped my wrist like a vice. You dug through every filthy page of the grey records. You found my plea for help hidden in the diary. A violent spasm cut her off, as if electricity surged through her. The chain dug into flesh, and the watch you wear. Engraved Eileen, that's my sister's name. My only sister. Eleanor seemed resolved. As the twisted cross, tangled with pale bone, finally tore free from the skeletal mass, the entire willow grove screamed, a deafening chorus of bottomless hatred. Eleanor convulsed. Her white dress bloomed instant, shocking crimson as blood gushed from within. The silver chain in her palm melted like hot wax, crumbling to ash, revealing the horror beneath, a deep, cruciform hole bored straight through her collarbone. The Thorn Countess's brand fused to her soul. Now, use the bone. Pierce her heart. She lunged, shoving the bone fragment wrapped with finger bones and holding the half-moonstone into my hand. Its cold touch reached my core. The cross is swollen with 107 souls. Now, it's the only weapon that can end her. The manor's heavy front door exploded inward. From roiling ink, black mist, a figure emerged. She wore a gown woven from living thorns, and her skin, it wasn't skin, it was a living tapestry of hundreds of men's and women's faces stitched together in silent agony. Eyes embedded in the faces wept thick black blood. My sweet canary, finally betraying your keeper. Her voice scraped like a rusty blade on bone, every syllable physically repulsive. Think this intruder is your savior. Fool. See what memento your sister left him. The silver watch at my chest burned. The cover snapped open. Inside lay a faded photo. A young woman, my mother, smiling wearily, and behind her, unmistakably, Black Oak Manor's signature thorn, wrought gates. Most damning, the tear mole beneath her left eye, its shape, its position, was identical to Eleanor's. She, Eileen, your own mother. The Countess spread arms of bare bone. Thick black mist surged, engulfing me, dredging up buried fragments. Mother weeping silently before the mirror on full moons, fingers unconsciously tracing her collarbone, where a faint red cross-shaped mark lingered. She was my perfect 100th cornerstone. The pure soul, mark vital for the key's core. The Countess's faces contorted with greedy shrieks. And Eleanor, my faithful Kia, Handel, her dear sister, merely the warden of my eternal prison. And you, countless eyes fixed on me, blazing with malice. Her child, bearing her untainted blood. Your bone and blood are the final steps, the perfect final sacrifice to complete the key and unlock Hell's Gate. Eleanor's spirit erupted in pure white flame. Like a moth diving into fire, she hurled herself at the Countess. "Run!" Her voice shattered against the Countess's consuming shriek. Moonmire's center. Your mother's grave. Underwater. She sealed her last strength into the cross, birthing you. Only her blood can wake it. As she screamed, I saw her outstretched arm being devoured by the black mist, flesh melting instantly to bare bone. Moonmire's icy, filthy water rose past my knees, then my waist. Clutching the key, Eleanor's bone fragment fused with the half-moonstone, I frantically groped the murky bottom. My fingers finally struck hard, carved stone, the grave marker. On the cold slab, Eileen Grey was etched beneath an ancient stone cross, and set into the cross's apex a whole, softly glowing moonstone. Its shape perfectly matched the half on Eleanor's necklace, forming a full, radiant moon, a symbol of wholeness and salvation. The moment the tip of the bone key, bearing Eleanor's sacrifice and curse, touched the full moonstone on the marker, boom! The entire Moonmire erupted like a red-hot iron plunged into water. It boiled and churned violently. Countless pearl-like bubbles surged from the depths, bursting. Each bursting bubble flashed with a fragment of my mother Eileen's sealed memories. Autumn 1897, Black Oak Manor's dim corridor. Young Eleanor, face terrified, shoves the silver cross necklace into her sister Eileen's hands, nails scratching skin. Take it. Run. Get away. Never, ever let that monster find. You bear the same crossmark on your collarbone. She needs our blood to forge that evil key. Eileen clutches the necklace, tears in her eyes. Winter 1907, delivery room. Mother Eileen lies pale, breath shallow. With her last strength, she thrusts the cross into a nurse's hand, pointing to the wailing infant in swaddling. Liam, his name, his Aunt Eleanor chose it. Years ago, for our unborn. Her eyes glaze. Her hand falls limp. The crossmark on her collarbone glows fiercely red. Summer 1929, City Archives. Buried in Grey family records marked Eleanor Grey. I open a file. From the first pages, hidden pocket slips, a half-burned, curled photo fragment. Just discernible, 2 girls in old-fashioned dresses, both wearing silver chains. One girl's half-face shows a clear tear mole. The other is mostly ash, only a skirt am visible. Back then, I dismissed it as irrelevant, tucking it away. Mother Eileen was Eleanor's twin sister. Eleanor's voice, like a soul, cleansing him, pierced the icy water. Her spirit, burning its last essence, transformed into a colossal, blindingly bright cross of pure light. Your mother spent her last life sending you away from this curse. And I... Her voice resonated with infinite sorrow, was forged alive into the handle, bearing this endless sign. No! The Countess's face, clawed hand, tore through the water, trailing annihilation, aimed at my head. In that split second, I poured all my strength, fury, and hope into the bone key, and drove it deep into the full moonstone atop the grave. Kraken, a blood-red tidal wave, connecting sky and earth, exploded from moonmire. Eleanor's soul, forged cross of light, collided, fused, and melded with the guardian cross of Eileen's grave marker in cataclysmic, purifying radiance. Forged within the light, a true skeleton key. Bone handle. Moonlight blade, tempered by twin sisters' love and sacrifice. The key traced a brilliant arc through the air, plunging straight into the core of the Countess's chest, the nexus of her countless suffering faces. Og, a soul, shaking roar, the triumphant release of 107 souls. As the Countess disintegrated, her faces shrieking into ash within the blinding light, I saw two figures clearly, Mother Eileen and Aunt Eleanor, locked in a tight embrace. Peace and joy, hard, won through a century of torment, shone on their faces. They faded into the pure light, as if the darkness had never touched them. The train's dull rumble vibrated through me. I leaned against the cold window, fingers unconsciously tracing the object in my pocket. The silver chain was cool, but no longer wrapped in bone. The moonstone was gone, shattered. My thumb found two deeply engraved letters, E and E, Eleanor and Eileen. The train plunged into a dark tunnel. Utter blackness swallowed everything. When blinding sunlight flooded the car again, marking the tunnel's end, I caught a flicker in the window's reflection, a fleeting, blurred profile. A woman in a simple white dress, nothing around her neck. A serene, released smile on her face, and beneath her left eye, that tear mole, catching the bright light, glowing a healthy, life-affirming pink. In my palm, the simple silver chain, stripped of its moonstone, held a strange, lingering warmth. Not metal warmth. It wasn't a thank you left unsaid for 100 years. It was the echo of a bond, forged in blood, spanning death and time, forever warm.